Good evening and welcome to the second episode of Outside the Box. Yesterday we had our first three candidates appearing on the show, and tonight we continue with another three. Thank you for sending in your questions last night and participating in our daily poll. We've received overwhelming response from you, our viewers. So let's take a look at the results. Our questions was, do you think the newly elected government should continue with a free education policy? 54% of you responded yes, while 11% texted no. And a small percentage sat on the fence. Now today's question is, should the free bus fare scheme continue after the elections? Text your answer a simple yes or no to 3592. The poll is open to Vodafone, Digicel and Inc. users. Charges apply. Joining me in the studio tonight is aspiring politician Simi Rasova. Is contesting a seat under the SODELPA party. If you want to pose a question to Mr. Rasova, just text in to 3599 or call our studio phone 3302-100. Now, Mr. Rasova, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, Michael, honor to have me tonight.
Now, Mr. Rasova, we did a little research, about you, and we found out that you were a bit of a jack of all trades. You are a man who worked in the aviation industry. You are familiar with farming, agriculture, and a sports fanatic.
Thank you. Yes, I think everybody that knows me, that I was brought up in the Rewanga suburbs and more of basketball and rugby, and also my attendance in school in Rewanga Methodist Primary School, and thereafter I went to Lillian Memorial School where Danes and rugby and everything was well known for me. And after that I joined the aviation soon after that, Fiji and Fiji later, which brought me to see people more often at the office and also overseas where I traveled. That made me somehow be a jack of all trades as perceived.
Exactly. You worked for Fiji Air at the time. Mm-hmm. It makes you a man of aviation industry, yes, of some kind. Mm-hmm. If you were to give a homework on aviation, how would you take the industry forward?
Yes, I think for the last 8 years since the government came in, I think the outgoing as well of the Fiji Air as its top local airline, unfortunately it happened, and then Pacific Sun took over and had monopoly over all the routes, domestic routes in Fiji. As a client and as a person that normally helps people get around domestically, the fare has substantially moved up about 100% to over 100% from the time in 2006. Unfortunately, that has happened.
Mr. Rasova, the question everybody watching us tonight: why are you contesting the elections?
Yes, I think my background is from families and friends, and also my business perspective, and also my union membership whilst I was working, and also as a Fijian citizen. One should ask himself, what can you do to better the changes that have happened since 2006? And
for that matter, what issues are you standing for?
I'm standing, okay, the directions by the SODELPA party under the direction of its leadership. They have demarcated an area for me to represent. So I represent the people of Rewanga, Rewai, Votuanga, G2, Howell Road, Rail Street, Nambua, Samabula, also to the Referee Range, and also Kandavu, the province of Kandavu. So that is where I will concentrate the issues, their daily issues and whatever, terms of economic and also their daily living, the VAT prices that affect most of the living, good sanitations and clean water, the rezonings of the areas of, because most of these places here are squatter settlements, or formerly professionally known as informal settlement.
These are ongoing issues, eh?
These are ongoing issues.
Year-round.
Yes.
If you were to put this together and if you were to come up with a solution for all this, what would that be, in short?
In very short, I think the majority of the things over there is the clean water and good sanitations, and also employment.
Mr. Rasova, you'll be standing against 200 or more candidates in these elections. What makes you think that you are different from the others, and people will definitely vote you into Parliament?
It's a great question. Thank you very much. SODELPA, with its manifesto out last week, 2 weeks back, I think it's very, very simple in the way we put things forward. And I think the SODELPA has very a few certain aspects of the constitution, the manifesto that it issues. It is about more on about indigenous race. So for me, I will be very different from other parties, because it concerns, when we talk about indigenous or Fijians, it involves 60% of the overseas and 85% of land owning and everything. So that makes me different. And also, this difference as well is more of my composure in terms of I'm an all-round person and everything. And I think most of the people that are involved with rugby, basketball, or traveling industry, and people that in business work, I think I'll make the difference over there, because my campaigning has not only started last year or the other year. It has started almost 30 years ago.
Okay, good. Now, you mentioned just earlier on the specific areas that you will be, you are tasked with in these elections, and how you will relate those to the people. Now, any specific issue that's dear to your heart that you also be, campaigning in these elections?
Yes, the thing is about, for the last 8 years, we've been oppressed by certain issues in running of government. Unfortunately, we don't have a parliament where democracy will be served at its best. I think for the last 8 years, we've been hearing things, this. And I think once the Fijian people, or the voters for SODELPA, we have 5 Indian candidates, and also some part of Europeans or VASU that will be contesting. So we have a variety of issues in our manifesto that will serve everything. But for me, I will try and secure the land issue and the decrees. These are one of the main things that we have to take out. We put up to get the decrees away, and also get the Bosle Waturang as spearheaded by our party leader, the Marambale Roktunikati.
If you don't make it into parliament, what happens then?
I will certainly go for whatever that is approved by the manifesto and also the party leader, because anyway, in the constitution as well, the 2000, which I don't really, I'm not a great believer in the 2013 constitution, that in anything that happens in parliament, if you do not follow the party directions and everything, you might be sent off from parliament or be disgraced.
What's your level of confidence like?
I just like to thank all the people that I've visited already. Rewanga Rewai, and also Tuanga G2, and Hull Road, and Nambu, and all these people. I always like to thank them. They've been very supportive, and I know that the numbers, and also the people of Kandavo.
Thank you, Mr. Rasova. Stay with us. When we come back, we'll join Mr. Pramod Rae, a former unionist from the NFP party. Welcome back. Join our discussion live tonight by texting in your questions to 3599 or call our studio line 3302 And remember, you can have your say in our daily poll. The question is still, should the free bus fare scheme continue after the election? Simply text yes or no to 3592 to all Vodafone, Digicel and Inc users. Now, Pramod Rae from the National Federation Party joining us. Mr. Rae, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Pleasure.
Mr. Rae, this would be your 4th election, am I correct?
Yes, in a manner of speaking. Although the first one in 1999, I was just a dummy candidate. Because we were in coalition with SVT and UGP, we had to put up dummy candidates who were simply to collect votes and pass it on to another candidate.
And you also stood in 2001 and 2006?
2001 and 2006.
Unfortunately, you didn't win any of the elections.
Well, that is true. We didn't win. We didn't win seats.
I mean, you.
I didn't win. My colleagues didn't win either. But you see, you got to look at it this way: that those who actually won in those elections couldn't keep their seats secure. This is why we're in a new election here. And you should not really judge previous electoral record. Where all parties here are at the starting lineup, right, as equals. So none of these parties has been tested before in this environment and under these conditions. So previous electoral record is really irrelevant.
Why standing in these elections?
Why am I standing in this election? It's important that people like myself, people who are in the National Federation Party, make a strong bid for in this election. because of the things that are wrong with this country. And this is the one opportunity after 8 years to rectify some of these wrongs. Look, we're transitioning from a democracy, from a dictatorship to a democracy, and it's important that right-thinking people, people do the right thing. That we ensure that we get a government in place that is going to deliver. That is going to deliver on the promises it makes. That's going to bring about some real improvement in the lives of our people.
What makes you so sure that you'll be going to Parliament this time around? I mean, you've got to remember that you'll be up against more than 200 candidates.
Yes, there are likely to be around 200 to 300 candidates. But look, the parties are still significant. Most people will decide, will choose a party first, and then they'll choose a candidate from within the party. So that narrows down the choice that people have to 50. And within the 50, of course, people will choose their own preferences, and candidates will be ranked. And I'm pretty confident for myself, and I'm also confident for a large number of my colleagues in the NFP.
Exactly. You've been a union man all your life. Eh? People will be asking, why into politics? You could have remained in union and also retire as a unionist.
Well, if for no other reason than that this dictatorship, this government has decreed that I cannot remain in the union as well as join a political party. So if for no other reason than to remove such an injustice, it's important that union members, union leaders participate in this election. As I said, if for no other reason than simply to be able to be in a position to influence the removal of these draconian and unjust decrees.
If you lose this election once again, would you go back to become a unionist?
No, I don't think so. I think I've done my dash in the trade union movement for over 30 years. I've served a large number of workers in different unions. The decree requires me to not take leave from the union, but to resign. So I have actually quit my position, and my union has appointed a successor. So I'm not likely to go and unseat him. Yeah.
Your party manifesto has promised to revamp the unions in the country, and you think the unions deserve a place in
absolutely,
the country?
Absolutely. The status of workers in Fiji and elsewhere, the pay levels, the working conditions, the rights that workers enjoy are due to nobody else's charity but to the efforts and the struggles of the unions and the union leaders. And the unions have established themselves in not just in the labor environment in Fiji but world over. And workers trust unions. Workers trust their union leaders more than they trust their bosses. So it's important that those rights are restored. It's important that the terms and conditions of employment that workers have lost because of draconian decrees such as the ANI decree are addressed and are restored. And rights, access to justice, access to tribunals and courts. These are all denied to a large, thousands of workers in Fiji. It's really a discriminatory situation. There are some workers who still have those rights, and others who have lost those rights.
Having people who've reached the age of 60, would they be contesting the workplace?
No, at age 60, most people are still capable, are still sharp. They've accumulated a wealth of experience, and our policy to restore public service retirement age to 60 is driven by the fact that the sudden decision that this government had made to send everyone who was over 55, send them home, without any consideration as to their commitments, as to the social impact that decision would have. Most people still probably paying off a mortgage. They have children at school, and they've landed into hardship. We know people have had nervous breakdowns because of that decision. We have made a promise. We will restore the public service retirement age to 60, and we will also compensate those who were abruptly and unjustly removed from their work and from their ability to earn a living.
Mr. Rae, VET, that's one of the issues unionists bring up now and again. It's affect workers. VET is VET. Your party plans to improve this. If it's voted into to form the next government. Tell us about this.
We have a policy. We have promised that we will immediately reduce VAT from 15% to 10%, and it's doable. None of the other parties, even the government, attempted to assemble some senior public servants to try and discredit that policy, but they failed dismally. It is to bring immediate relief to the low-income families. They say there will be a revenue impact of around $250 million. But look, that $250 million is much better placed in people's pockets rather than in the hands of a treasury that has been unaccountable, that has really not been transparent. This government has not accounted for anything it's done for the last 7 years.
Thank you, Mr. Pramod Rae. After the break, we will feature a candidate from the Fiji First Party. Welcome back. Now remember, you can join the discussion live by texting in your questions to 3599 or call our studio line 330-100. In our final segment, we feature the Fiji First Party. We've sent out invites to the Fiji First Party, but unfortunately, due to their busy campaign schedule, they are unable to appear on the show yet. However, in line with our show, we're actually thinking outside the box, and we're taking you to them. Cross live now to our journalist, Ndreo Bukelangi, who is in Matata, here in Lami, where the Fiji First Party is campaigning tonight. Ndreo, can you give us an update on what's happening at the rally?
The Fiji First Party campaign here in Matata settlement in Lami just completed a while ago. Present in this meeting was party leader Dr. Chikol Veni, candidate William Nopoto, and Pio Tigondondwa, who is expected to be named among the 29 batch of candidates that will be released later this week by the Fiji First Party. Here in Matata settlement, top of the issue was the land issue. The land still belongs to the church here in this settlement, and when they go to ask for assistance from Fiji's Provident Fund, they've been asked who owns the land, the title holder of the land, and they brought that up to the reps of the Fiji First who were present here. They also talk about the assistance that has been provided in education and also the bus service to the area, which at the moment goes in the morning and also in the afternoon. Pioti Ondondua assuring the members of the Matata settlement that they look into the problems that they faced, and also they will look at ways that the government would assist them in terms of providing transport into this area. Those are the main issues that were brought to the Matata settlement, and close to 100 people were present in the Matata hall to listen to the Fiji First candidate who were here at Matata. That's from here, Mika, and that was all that was discussed in this meeting.
And that was our journalist Ndreo Bukelangi live from Matata in Lami. Now, earlier today, our news team caught up with Dr. Mahendra Reddy, the former chairman of the Commerce Commission, who is contesting the elections this year. Dr. Reddy was in Serua campaigning with other party members, and he spoke at length about the economy.
The economy is projected to grow by 3.8%. We're getting closer to our potential of 6%. That's a remarkable achievement. Now, for the next 20 years, we need to fix this. Get water delivered, get roads fixed in rural areas, get electricity distributed. And this is not the time to reduce tax rate. This is not the time to reduce tax rate. We, people like us, can afford to pay 15% VAT. Government should take 15% VAT from us and give you water, give you electricity, fix your roads, fix the health center so that you have medicine there. Unless we do that, let's not subsidize people like me or Jonas Mate or all the business people. Let them pay. They've accepted to pay 15% tax. Why are we wanting to subsidize them? Reducing VAT from 15 to 10% or 5% won't help. Giving you good quality water, electricity, better roads, better health facilities, and to ensure that the elderly, the poor in the society get the basic facilities. For so long, our people in the rural areas were working hard after 55, 60, when they can't work, they have no source of income. None of the governments identified that they should be given some kind of pension. First time ever, this government has said, we recognize you. You've worked hard in the farm. We're giving you a pension of $30. Next year, 1st of January is increasing to $50. And they will further rise if our economy does well. That's the kind of thing we need to do. We need to identify what you need to do. 45 years ago, when our leaders asked the British government that we should run the country, they argued that we know better about our rural people. We know better about the workers. We knew better about the elderly. When we got the government to run in 1972 after the first election, we forgot about them. We forgot about the rural areas. And our rural areas are declining. Last year, the government gave Fiji National University $1.7 million and said, go to the maritime areas, go to the interior and run short courses, build capacity on the youths. Myself and my colleague, Dr. Ganesh Chen and Alfredi Donibuka, we went to Kandavu to see what's happening there so we can identify the courses that we should run, that the government has given us the money. We went to Kandavu, went to the Venusia village. Every 10th house is locked up. We asked them, where have they gone? Oh, they're going to Suva. Where have they gone? They're going to Suva. And I asked, why? He said, oh, there's nothing to do here, no activity. Because the previous governments ignored to build capacity in the rural areas, in the maritime areas. And we're getting worried. If we don't quickly go and do developments there in the rural areas, in the maritime, these places will start to empty out. And we'll be filling Suva, Latoka, Nendi with squatter settlements. People will be loitering around there. We have to go back to the rural areas, fix the basics, give them good quality water, roads, electricity, ensure that the health center have medicine, doctors and nurses there, so people can feel good to live there and develop the agriculture sector and supply us vegetables. Today, one bundle of beans costs you $3. People are saying, oh, it's too expensive, because there's no one to farm, so the supply is going down. And they're saying that we are responsible for the cost of living. No, we're not. I mean, a 12 kg goat used to cost us $80 10 years ago, now it's $120. That goat eats the same grass, but why has the price gone up? Nothing to do with the government. It's because the supply has gone down and the farmer decides the price, not the government. Not the government. The fish price has gone up. Nothing to do with the government. It's the farmer who decides. We're importing a lot of things. We are at the mercy of the supplier. We take the price. We are a price taker. We don't decide. The basic food items, the government has allowed the Commerce Commission to control the prices. I tell you, the 21 basic food items, the sharp, the rice, the tin fish, the oil, the potato, the garlic, the onion, these are the cheapest in the entire Pacific region, cheapest. $10.70, 10 kg rice, you never get it in any other country except Fiji. You go to New World now, Mahatma brand rice, 10 kg, $10.70 because we are price controlling it. In Solomon Islands, it's $30 Fijian, a 10 kg bag of rice. This is very cheap because we're controlling the price. Dalo, cassava, all these are VAT exempt. So if you reduce the VAT from 15 to 10 or 15 to 0, the price of dalo, baingani, vegetables won't go down because there's no VAT on that. All these basic food items, you can reduce the VAT from 15 to 0. You won't reduce the price. So reduction of VAT from 15 to 10 or 15 to 0 is not helping the poor. It's helping the people, the rich people, the business people. These are the people who are paying VAT. They go and dine out in restaurants. They buy expensive clothes. They go to a home center and buy big stereos and all these things. That's where they'll be saving in VAT. So we're subsidizing the rich if we want to reduce VAT. And this is not the time to reduce VAT. This is the time to keep the VAT, let the rich people pay that VAT, take that money and fix the basics, fundamentals that we have missed out for the last 30 years. That's what this government wants to do. That's the vision we have. We need to increase the pension. We need to increase the food vouchers for the poor people. We need to give the mothers, milk. This is the time that we need to do all those things. We need to build quality hospitals so that, unlike the rich people who can get a ticket, go to Australia, New Zealand, India and clean up their blockage, we want our people to have our own hospital where they clean up the blockage and government will pay for that. That's the kind of thing we need to do. So we need to maintain the tax rate. get the rich to pay that. So that's the plan we have.
That's the show for tonight. We will announce the results of today's poll in tomorrow's show. Remember, you can still text in your answers to our poll. The question line will be open until 6 p.m. tomorrow. Again, the question is, should the free bus fare scheme continue after the elections? Text in your answer, yes or no, to 3592. Join me again tomorrow as I speak to another 3 different party candidates, also hoping to contest the upcoming elections. Good evening.